I'm live. Am I live? Am I here? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Everything good? It was give me the darndest time saying like, "Oh, streaming's not available right now," and I'm like, "Oh, what's going on? Is it because I loaded the OBS on here and I'm just now figuring it out?" Oh, are we all good though? Can you guys hear me and everything? Are we good? Can you hear me? Everything good? Yes, maybe. Just making sure. Are we oh, good. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering. I wasn't hearing any response and stuff, so I wasn't sure. So, okay, we're good. We're started. Everything's here. Let's kick this puppy off. Woohoo! Thanks so much for showing up, everybody. Great to see you here for Eccentric Nature's live stream. Woo! Streaming it. Feeling the stream. Woo! And I tried some new tricks here today to just get myself to look better today. We're doing all right. I think I need to go to like the softer light on the circle light because it feels a bit harsh. Maybe push it a little bit further back. But I got. That's one of the things I want to talk about today is all the little things about growing a YouTube channel and lots of the tricks that I do and different things that I like to get going. You had to restart the video. I had to restart the video. Yeah, making tacos. Ooh, nice tacos. Good job, Todd. Todd Tropicals. If you guys love orchids, Todd has got lots of amazing orchids. The guy's really good at his orchid love. He's got like, I've got like 4. He probably has like, what, 400? I know you've got a lot there, man. Grow with George. Good to see you. Good to see Jeannie Lynch. Deborah Cabasa in the house. Ecocentric Homestead. Jennifer Morales. Hello, my friends. Good to see you all. Yes, slightly different angle. You can see my bookends. Usually I shoot this way when I'm shooting my videos, but I'm doing this from the computer, so I have to turn slightly. And I'm still trying to figure this whole live stream angle out. That's one of the things that I want to do is like, if you really want to be a good YouTuber, you really kind of have to get a good camera. I've been doing this for like a year and a half now, and I've been getting by. I've been really getting by pretty well, I think. Because I've got a really good quality camera on my phone here, and we've got really good quality lighting, which we set up here. I mean, we've got these actual full lights that we set up that have stands and everything. I can pull it down, but it's actually lighting me right now. So it's a little bit hard to show you what it actually looks like. Hi, Joy. Good to see you. And yeah, so, but I got a list of things I want to talk about today, which are hiding right here. Aha. But yeah, it's not like I'm a huge channel yet, but I figured it's like, some people said, yeah, they wanted to hear what I talk about. How I've gotten to where I've gotten to, which, is a moderate success of 2,000 subscribers in a year and a half. I think that's pretty good. And I think I could be bigger too right now if I had done a few different things or if I started doing a few different things for where I'm at right now. But yeah, the first thing I was talking about is a better camera. And one of the reasons is things like this, like for live streaming or filming. I filmed with a new app on my phone this week, and it so pissed me off. Oh my gosh. I seem like happy-go-lucky all the time, but man, this pissed me off something fierce because my old app was telling me, oh, it may be like, getting into your contacts and stealing your information now, so you shouldn't be using this app. I'm like, well, this is the app I use for filming, and I'm going to film today. So, okay, I guess I should delete that and try a different one. So I brought one up first that I paid like $2.99 for, and it sucked. it didn't actually let me use the back camera, only the front camera. And I like using the back camera so I can see myself when I'm shooting, so I can align myself properly in the frame. So it's always good to have some kind of camera that lets you see yourself when you're shooting, because then you can know exactly where you're at in the frame. And especially if you know framing, you can get you can be really weird if you're like sitting up and it's like, oh, you're cutting off your head, or you're seeing way too much of the frame and not enough of me. Just simple things like that, that it's important to keep yourself in a good portion of the frame. And like in this situation, this is probably the best place for me to be, because it covers up this ugly background lane right here where you see these cords and things. I mean, just for given the setup that I'm doing on my makeshift run right now, it works best for me to actually be offset like this. And if I really wanted to, bring the OBS into effect, which I don't know how to do yet. I've just downloaded it. I'm trying to research it and figure out how to do it so I can actually do my wheel for my 2,000 subscriber giveaway, which should be next week and next Thursday. So if you haven't entered yet, please do. You have to look at my last live to figure out how to do that. And yeah, it's one of those things you got to learn how to do, is how to put yourself in a frame properly and how to balance it correctly. So for my videos, obviously, for live, this is the best kind of setup, is to be in something like this, or it would be to bring up OBS, so it would like put a picture up over a bunch of this, and it automatically covers up a bunch of that ugly stuff in your frame. Little things like that. Let me see here. Ecocentric says it's not that my 2,000 subscribers is pretty good, because he's been going 2 years and he's not at 1,000 subscribers yet. So yeah, I guess you put things in comparison, it's pretty good. Let me get my tea here. Woohoo! New strainers. I got myself some lemongrass and sage today. Ooh, that smells good. That smells good. But let me see. Let's read some more of the comments here. Todd says, you've done really well and have come a long ways with your channel. Thank you. Yes, we'll talk about that too, the progress that I've made with it. Jeannie says it's taken her 15 years to get to 700. She must be doing something right. Well, you probably haven't been posting that much, have you, Jeannie? Until recently, I know. And content is king, definitely. That is true. Content is king. We'll get into that as well. Hi, Runneth over Garden and Life. Good to see you. Joy, networking is very important. Oh, yes. That's another one that I definitely want to cover. And Stan Mack says, Eric has a combination of great content and being supportive of other channels, and it's an awesome recipe. Yeah, that is one of the number one things you have to do, is not only you have to put out good content, but especially when you're first starting, the easiest way to get to 100 subscribers is, obviously you could buy them, or you could do some stupid stuff with sub to sub and different things like that. But if you really are wanting to grow your channel, none of that stuff works. There are some discerning people, I'm not discerning, some alternate points of view that say, okay, you can get a bunch of subs from a source and then make it look like your channel is bigger than it is, and people might glom onto it because it looks bigger than it is, but really it just pisses YouTube off. So at the end of the day, it's best for you not to do that kind of thing, because the organic growth is, the one that's going to keep YouTube in your good graces and get your videos up and on those side streams and those end areas that you want to be put up to, because that's where my best videos have come from, is the ones that have finally gotten YouTube to pick them up and advertise them. So just to be clear, so everybody is understanding of this, it's when you're watching a video, of course, you got the suggested videos next to it, and then at the end, it'll show you a block of different videos that may come up that you say, hey, watch these ones next. So though, if you get your video put in one of those, it definitely helps out. So like my benefits of Sage video and my versus videos, are ones that have done the best as far as that's concerned. So my aniseed versus star anise video, both of those have been picked up by YouTube, and they get listed in the suggested videos, and they get listed in that end area. And so I get tons of views for those two videos in particular every day. Boston, hey buddy, good to see you, my man. Boston, awesome guy and an awesome actor as well. He's an old friend of mine from Valdez in Alaska, and other places as well, from Anchorage. But yeah, we know each other best from doing the Valdez Theater Conference up there in Anchorage, up there in Alaska when I was living there. So, but he's awesome. He's been a teacher. He's actually been in a couple really cool movies. You can see him in what is it? The two M. Night Shyamalan films, Unbreakable, and the last one of that series, which I'm forgetting the name of. It's not Split. It's the other one. What's that? Glass. Yes, Glass. He's in that too. So, yes, he's the guy who's running the comic book shop when Unbreakable, when Samuel L. Jackson comes in. Awesome scene, man. Fantastic stuff. I love that one. So, but anyways, yeah, that's the kind of thing you want to get YouTube to do, is pick up your videos to be shown to other people and say, hey, I'm suggesting this video to you. You should watch that next. Those are the ones that are really going to get your channel starting to grow. And those are the ones that have gotten my channel to grow the most, because I get my most subscribers because of that benefits of sage video and that aniseed versus star anise video, because I'm getting consistently, it says like every 48 hours, I guess is what it says in the analytics. I get it anywhere from 50 to 70 views every 48 hours from that one video, the sage video. And the aniseed versus star anise doesn't get as many, but I usually get like anywhere from 15 to 30 videos for every 48 hours. And you add that up on a consistent basis, you're getting that every day, every 48 hours. That adds up to a lot of views and a lot of subscribers. So it's like the more videos you can get suggested, the better. And that way, and that's Deborah said that's the way she found my channel. So that it was suggested by YouTube. See, hey, there you go. But I got a list of things to go down here, and it's not necessarily in perfect order. But first off, one of the things I want to talk about is, like, in order to get them to pick up your video, since we're on that topic, there's two really big things you need to do. And the first one is tags. There's some people say, well, tags don't matter anymore. Well, actually, yeah, they do. Because I've gotten my videos to rank really high a lot of times, and I pick up a lot of views because people browse them, and I look at my analytics, and a lot of my views that I get from YouTube, besides the ones they've suggested, are from tags. So you've got to have good tags, specific tags. I find it the most important thing for me in trying to get people to view my channel, or trying to get new people to see my channel, because obviously I can go around and I can talk to all the different homesteading channels and other gardening channels and things like that, people who are all like-minded, and even some of the food channels and such are good for along those lines. But those are the ones that I find, are most like-minded to what my channel has to offer. And so I have something really good to offer them, and that's why they would come see me. So it's like, those are the ones I try and connect with the most. But at the end of the day, you can only do so much of that. You want to commit a certain amount of time, especially early on, to get yourself going, to target a bunch of people that you want to connect with, that are other small YouTubers or other medium YouTubers, to start, creating a relationship with them. So you watch their videos, they watch yours, and maybe they will shout you out on their videos, and that'll bring some people in. But at the end of the day, shout outs, though I like the concept, I don't think gets you a lot. Maybe if you had like some monster channel that's 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 or more shout you out, that would bring in a lot of subscribers. But when you're getting shout outs from a channel like mine or smaller, then it's not going to get you a ton, really. I mean, I've seen some people come in. I have seen some people come in because people have shouted me out. That's not to say it doesn't happen, but the numbers, if you're looking for exponential growth, aren't huge. Okay, it's not like a large amount that are coming in. Um, so yeah, Todd says that tags do matter. Then choosing the target audience does as well. Very, very true. That and that's part of what you're doing with the tags is you're really targeting what's um, the kind of people you want to talk to. Because one thing you can do with tags, like with mine, obviously I try and tag everything around what specifically I'm talking about. So the history videos and mythology videos, most of my tags are going to be around. If I say history of Sage, okay, my tags are going to be what my title says first and foremost. That is your number one thing to do, is in your tags you have your title. So you want to have a good title that is something somebody may search for. So I have history of Sage in my title. And then usually I'll have a subheading that something else somebody might search for as well. So I try not to go too long on them. They say you can go a little longer. Some people say you shouldn't. But I always try and have my titles and my tags in the same thing. So, but so history of Sage would be one tag. I would say Sage history is another tag. Then I would say, facts about Sage is another one. Information about Sage, anything along those lines. That's just slight variations. You can also use the Google Ads keyword planner. Is a good way to find some different tags that people might actually be searching, which is important because it's like I might rank number one, but if only 10 people are searching for it a month, according to the Google Planner, then it's like, well, it's not going to be bringing me in many views now, is it? But then again, if I'm ranking number one for one that's getting searched every 400 times a month, now that should be able to bring me in a few views. Let alone 4,000 views or 4,000 searches or 10,000 searches a month. So if you're ranking really high for one of those, that should start bringing you in a lot more views. So that's what you're looking for when you're doing tags, is ranking them really high, because the second someone does search for them, boom, you're going to be at the top. And then also trying to find some tags that also are larger tags that you can rank high for as well. So that's what the Google Ad Planner is for. Liz can tell you all about this stuff. Liz Brousseau has just shown up, and she is knows all about this stuff. I think she has a couple of videos on tags already, probably. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button down below. I know we've got 9 likes and 10 people, but we had 14 people, so some people haven't liked yet. Like. Does that mean loser or like? But yes, tagging, though, I think is one of the things I've done the best since I've started my channel up to where I'm at now. That I have a really good handle on going, okay, I know what I need to tag for each new video the second I start them off. I mean, with the lives, I'm still a little bit like, do I know? Do I not know? I'm not sure. So, but I am definitely gotten really good at my regular videos about going, okay, definitely know what I need to push for these ones. What else? Descriptions. Descriptions are important as well, because the more you can have everything that's in your tags in your description, YouTube goes, oh yes, those connect, so I should rank them higher because he actually is talking about what he says he's talking about. So, and that's what's important. You don't want to tag something that's like, oh, this video is about history of Sage, and I say the mythology of Sage. Well, it's like, it's not necessarily the mythology, so I shouldn't be ranking as high for that. Or Google may look at it and go, no, you're not talking mythology, so I'm not going to rank you for that. So you want to make sure those tags are talking about what you're talking about. So if you're talking about how to grow peaches, then how to grow peaches should be your tags, and things that are all about that. But yeah, having that information in your description does help as well. So let me just start going down the list here. Quality, not quantity, is the first thing I wrote down. And oh yes, so important. I know so many people out there that are great people that I connect with, that I love, but they've got low quality videos. sorry to say it. I mean, even me doing this live stream, I feel a little bit cringy because I know it could be a better quality if I had a proper actual webcam and I could move this to a place where I could get the lighting a little more even and I could get all the clutter out of the background, because these are all things that make you more aesthetically pleasing, that makes people want to watch it, let alone your actual energy and what you're offering to it. As far as the live stream is concerned. But as far as the other videos are concerned, that's definitely why I edit the heck out of my videos, is because I'm looking for quality and not volume. I tried doing the volume thing with a couple of my videos recently, and I don't think it worked. I tried doing these monster videos with the benefits of spearmint and the benefits of peppermint, and they get watch time, but the watch time percentage is much lower, and the number of views is okay, but it's not any better. And I think it's actually a little bit worse than my videos that are slightly shorter. So I try and keep all my videos under 10 minutes personally now. Is my main goal, is to try and keep them down to around 10 minutes if I can. But it's really about the quality. Like my history of dandelions, I think, came out to 11 and a half. But I was like looking at them going, there's nothing in here I want to cut. I've cut out a bunch already, and there's nothing in here that I'm going, yeah, they should not keep that. And that's the main thing, is like if there's anything in there that is all suspect that you can go, yeah, I don't need this, cut it out, cut it all out. Because that will keep people on your videos and keep them watching and keep them engaged, is the more the video is just flowing and going along and people are enjoying it. And with my videos in particular, just to let you know, I have an average watch time of anywhere from 45% to like 55% on a lot of my history and mythology videos. And that's, my bread and butter ones that I put the most editing time into. So it does pay off. The ones that I really edit and really pay attention to get the highest watch time on them all. I mean, I put a little bit of editing time into, which is part of the reason it surprised me that the aniseed versus star aniseed one is one that they picked up and took off. But it was because it was in a niche. That's why it took off. A niche. Is because it was very specific, and it's a very strong topic that if anybody is looking for that in particular, they see me first. Again, finding ways to get yourself to be in that top 5, it really is the main thing, I think, because as soon as the search ends, you generally see like 4 or 5 videos pop up. So if you're in that top 5 and you're in that first initial screen that people see, then you have a chance of being the one they click on. If you're further down, that is much harder to get people. Liz agrees that it's very key. Being in the top 5, if you rank your videos in the top 5, is all that's necessary. It doesn't have to be ranked number 1. If it's ranked number 3, as long as people see your thumbnail and like it more than those other 2 or 3 that are right around you, then boom, they're going to click on you instead. So good thumbnails. That's another one. Yeah. And there's a couple different schools of thoughts on the thumbnails. I've gone with the one that I don't use my face in them, and I use just the graphics that we make. And I've started coming around to, I've been doing like really large text on most of mine, but I've started trying to play around with shrinking the text down a little bit and making my graphics a little bit bigger to see if that grabs people's eyes a little bit more. Because my click-through rate, which is also very important on your videos, is the click-through rate is how often people see the thumbnail that they've advertised and go, oh yes, I'm clicking on that one. My click-through rate is pretty good, but I think I could be a little bit higher. I generally average on that as well around 4.6% to like 6% sometimes, depending on the thumbnail. But I've been trying to be a lot more, okay, I'm definitely going to raise up the size of my, like on this one, it's like I still got huge type, but I made the plant a lot bigger on this particular thumbnail, if you saw it before you came in. I've been trying to do that a lot more. So the whatever herb or plant I'm putting on the video, I've been trying to be like, okay, here's the fun herb to draw your eye in, and then the text is there as well. Um, Whereas in the past, have been very much like history of sage as being the whole, pretty much the whole frame of the thumbnail, and it's worked. It says it does what it says on the tin. There's some people that say, oh, you should in your thumbnail you should say something else that's a bit clickbaity that really draws them in. And you can do that, but for me, it's like my calling card is that I am the go-to source if you want to find out information about herbs and plants as far as their history and mythology. And now I've been working on the benefits as well. So if you're looking for those things in particular, you come to me. And so that's why I put it on the tin, like, yes, history of sage. That's what it is. And so that has a little bit of wiggle room as to what works with you. And you can watch some other videos and some people will tell it to you a lot better than I do. This is about, from my angle, what's worked for me. So what has worked for me and what's gotten me a really good click-through rate is advertising what I am on the tin and saying that in big, bold letters and making it readable. I have noticed that I have changed slightly in order to make it better. And Liz says, and you really looked at the analytics and figured out the topics that work for you. Am I right? Yeah, I'm going to talk about that shortly as well. Yeah. Harud, a phone call in Cantonese, no less, but I speak Mandarin. I don't know where you're coming from, Todd, but I like it. But yeah, I'm getting back to my initial point was that it's the quality. It's the quality of the videos. You can advertise them as much as you want, is what they say on the tin, and draw people in, but people aren't going to stay and watch if they're not engaging, if it's not interesting, and it doesn't have a nice through line on the message. So for my videos, it's also something I've been trying to do a little bit better is front load it now with some really cool information that's a bit more, oh, that's really cool. And then put, some of the more just regular information that I'm like, oh, that's interesting, but isn't like, whoa, that is really cool in the middle. And then at the end, I'll put another big like, whoa. So like on the mythology of dandelions, I did that in particular, where it's like I advertised what are all the myths about, making wishes on dandelions. And I saved that to the end of the video to try and see if I could get people watching until the end, because the main draw is like people who are wanting to learn about the wishing. And it's like, okay, well, let's see if we can get them holding on to the end by putting one really cool thing that hooks them in, and then just they keep watching until they see the thing they wanted to see. And I notice a lot of the YouTubers who do YouTube advice videos will do that a lot. They'll be like, this video is about how to get more subscribers. And I'm going to really save my main tips for the end. But for the beginning, I'm just going to talk about, this and that and the other thing that are kind of helpful. But really, the main thing you want to learn is this. And I'm not going to talk about that until 8-10 minutes in. So, so it's just a little trick. And another thing that I started doing lately as well with the videos on the quality is don't make people wait around for the information. I've been cutting out the advertising at the beginning entirely. So I've been like, okay, let me do a really cool intro to draw people in. Then I go straight into, and now the history of dandelions. And then I'll go right into the information. Before I had my little eccentric nature banner, intro that I would do. And now I've got, let's get rid of that. Let's go straight into the information. Let's go straight into what the video is and start giving people the info to get them engaged and get them involved before I try and say, hey, please subscribe and like the video, which you haven't done already. Now's a good time. See, 28 minutes in, just now, saying subscribe if you haven't already. But you guys all are. I know all you guys. You guys are cool. I like you. But yeah, I've been holding that off a lot more until like at least halfway through the video. And then I'll be like, hey, since you're still watching the video, you should like and subscribe. Because at that point, if they're already hooked in, they're probably not going to be leaving, Todd says, I think also with videos is have fun making them, be yourself. People really engage with that. Yeah, totally true. That is something that I've learned a little bit more as I've gone on, that I've gotten even a little bit better with that. I was already pretty good at that, being an actor and all. So I've already have a pretty good handle on who I am, and that I really don't give a damn if you don't like what I have to offer. But I did notice, like early on in a couple of videos, some people like being like, "Dude, calm down. You're being a little too crazy and stuff." And then I was like, "No, I'm not being crazy enough. I'm not being me," And that it was like more that I was forcing some of it a little bit. And then I was like going, "No, start getting some of that stuff in there that just says me." So it's like when you see my videos and I like go, "Here's this bit of information." And I'll keep those in now in my videos where I'll just keep those reactions and different things like that because that's who I am. I'm doing this live stream and I'm doing it right now, okay? So yeah, that is exactly who I am on the tin. It's like, that's what I like to be as. I like to be a little bit weird and crazy. I'm very, relaxed and I like to listen to people. So like if I'm in a general conversation with people, I'll pretty much lay back and listen to people a lot. But if I'm engaged in a topic that I really like, I'll be more like this. So so yeah, you'll definitely find that this is my norm if I'm talking about, something that I'm really passionate about with the herbs or movies or different things along those lines. So yes, you got to be yourself. You got to let that freak flag fly, as it were, and just let yourself be who you are. It's the craziest thing with this world, I think, and that it affects us from the bottom to the top. And that I see like one of the biggest problems with our politics right now is people not being who they are, or that they are being who they are, and who they are is a bad person. And but a lot of people like go and say, no, I need to change who I am in order to match what the public needs me to be. And it's like, no, you need to tell the public just honestly what it is. That's why the lady from New Zealand, who's the prime minister over there right now, has been so successful. She's been actually just engaging with people in a realistic and honest way and just being herself, and people have loved her for it. She's done amazingly well, and she's, on the ball too. She knows her stuff. But there's so many politicians that are out there like, "Hi, you love me, don't you? I'm a great person." On the other, and in the back rooms, they're like, "Screw you!" And it's like, that's not what we should have as our leaders. Our leaders should be good, honest people that should be not be afraid to be able to be like, "Woohoo!" Like there was that one year in the I think it was like 88 or 92 election that there was the one Howard Dean, I think it was, in one of his rallies was like, "Yeah, woo!" or did something like that, and people were like, "Oh, this guy, he's crazy," and it's like he's just being excited. What's wrong with that? But anyways, let's get back to the regular topic. Um, but yeah, it's very important to be who you are because that does engage people. People like seeing people just be normal, fun, interesting people. Um, my next thing is focus on your niche, and that's something that I've actually this lockdown has been the number one thing that I've gotten out of this lockdown. I think is focusing my niche. I realized that I can do the tea videos and they help with content and that I can get stuff out fast and everything. But I also noticed that A, they don't get me much watch time, and B, I don't get nearly as much engagement with them as I do with some of the other stuff. I mean, I do still get some of those advertised. My hemp tea benefits video is one that's gotten some advertising from YouTube as well, and it's gotten lots of views. I noticed that like my marjoram tea video got some stuff from YouTube for them sharing it as well. So I mean, I have had some success with them as well, and I may end up still doing some with them. Like I have one on chocolate mint that I want to do, but it's not so much about the tea. It's more so much as, does chocolate mint actually taste like chocolate mint? Because there's a little bit of a weird debate out there about that, oddly enough. So that will be an upcoming video. And just to get myself ahead of the game, I might do a couple of tea videos just to try and get some content out there in order to let myself get further ahead with some of my heavy edited videos. Because focusing on your niche isn't enough. You got to really be clear about what you want to talk about. And what I realized this year is like what I really want to talk about and what's really going to grow my channel is YouTube looking at it and going, well, he does tea, he does some kind of travel videos, and he does this stuff about herbs and stuff as well, and he does garden tours. What's he doing? And that I was like going, okay, I'm actually doing a little bit too much. I'm doing pretty good with everything I'm doing, but I need to focus that down and to go, okay, if I'm talking tea, let's link it into the other stuff, which is the benefits. Let's link it into the history. Let's link it into those things specifically. So on my next set of videos with the lavender is going to be my next topic. So after I get done with the history of lavender, I'm going to be talking about the benefits of lavender tea and then the benefits of lavender oil specifically. So and actually making them just a little bit shorter. They're still going to be a decent size. It's not like they're going to be 5-minute videos. I think they're still going to end up around 8 to 10 minutes, just by the number of script pages I have for it. But it's that focus. It's taking it from being like, I'm just talking about all the benefits of lavender, which makes an 18-minute video in the case of mint. And not everybody's going to sit down and go, I'm going to watch all 18 minutes of the benefits of mint. You know what I'm saying? So unless you like are someone who has, you know, a popular garden channel or has a massive garden that has lots of wonderful stuff in it that people want to see for 35 minutes, then you need to find ways to focus that down and clarify it a lot more. And you also need to make sure you're just staying focused on those topics. If you're focused on, okay, I'm talking about homesteading, or I'm talking about RV life, or I'm talking about my garden, then just stay focused on that garden and not talk about anything else as well. And that's what I've been doing right now is like, okay, I'm talking about my history videos. I'm staying focused on my mythology videos. I'm staying focused on my benefit videos and trying not to stay off topic from that as much as possible. And then also I still am doing some of the garden tours. Like my video for this Sunday is going to be a Loseley Park Gardens tour. And that's going to be a little bit of a shorter video, so it made it a little bit easier for me to get it out quicker. In fact, I'm pretty much done editing it and should be able to upload it tonight. So, woohoo, which is fast for me because that is one reason to get yourself some videos that are actually a little bit shorter, if you know, is just being realistic. If you have some shorter videos that aren't as heavily edited, it can make it easier to have some stuff in the queue already ready to go that you've already planned on your YouTube and go, okay, I'm scheduling this and scheduling this and scheduling this. So then if something comes up in your life, you can go, okay, I've already got 3 videos scheduled. I can take time away from the channel for a little bit to deal with stuff. But the way I've been right now, even with having, thanks, Todd, good to see you. Bye. The food is ready. Go for it, Todd. Enjoy those tacos. Where was I? Yes. But I've been finding it very important for me, especially to get a few more videos out right now and have them loaded up already so I can feel a little less stress about getting things edited every week. Because over the last month and a half, even though we've been in lockdown and I haven't really been working at all, I've been stuck like in a nonstop editing cycle of filming, script writing, editing, and nonstop. Where most weeks I'm like, okay, I finished editing the video on Saturday night or Sunday morning and upload it for a Sunday evening presentation, and it's like that gets tiring in a hurry. So you do want to get ahead of those videos. You want to be able to go, okay, what I'm editing this week is going out 3 weeks from now or 4 weeks or 5 weeks or 6 weeks from now. If you can get that far ahead, that is fabulous because it takes a lot of the stress off. I do feel a little bit of tension from every week now of being like, oh gosh, I got this video that I'm editing for this week, so it's got to get done, or I'm not going to have a video for this week. Because consistency is another one that's a big key, is you got to be persistent and consistent and get stuff out there every week. And I've been trying to keep to my 2 a week schedule now with doing live streams, and that part of the reason of the live streams is to cut back the editing time. So I'm not editing 2 videos a week and uploading 2 videos a week. I was like, no, I'm going down to 1. Had to harvest some sage. Good man. Geeky Gardens in the house. I'm actually having some sage and lemongrass tea myself. Ah, very good. But yeah, and that's something I'm really focusing in on again now is like, okay, let me try and edit some slightly shorter videos and get those in the queue so I can take the pressure off of having to edit one every single week to be released that week. Because that, take it from me, I'm sure you guys, some of you guys have felt it as well. If you have, let me know in the comments that if editing to release on that same week or on that same day is very stressful stuff. You don't want to do that. So, as much as possible, get a backlog going. Um, so yes, that's all part of, and the more you're focused on knowing what your niche is and what your topics are, the easier it is to come up with topics, I think, as well. Um, and Liz is saying yes, so many yeses that it's, yeah, that's why she does 2 lives, is so she doesn't have to edit as many videos as well. Because this is easy. I can write down a list of things I want to talk about, and we just chat about it, and we're going for a long time. And that's another thing I actually had written down on the list is like, if you are looking for monetization, live streams is a really good way to go, because since doing my live streams, I've noticed on the analytics that doing a 1 hour long live stream, even if they don't watch the whole thing, I would notice that like getting like 40 views on my live stream would be equal to me getting like 150 views on like a 10-12 minute video on one of my other videos. I mean, it makes it that much easier to get your watch hours up. So live streams, if you have a reason to do it or in good topics that you want to cover, then yeah, live stream it, baby. It's good stuff to do, and and if you can figure out ways to keep it going for a long time, you don't have to go for an hour like I'm going. Yeah, thank you, car. We're so loud around here sometimes. um, but you don't have to go for an hour or an hour and a half. You can just go for 15 minutes. You can just go for 20, 30 minutes. If you just have a small topic you want to talk about, and it's like, hey, I'm just live streaming, I want to talk about this, boom, 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 it's done. And then you're out of there. But it's an easy way that you're still uploading videos and you're still getting engagement on your channel. And yeah, I love doing the live streams now. I'm still getting used to it. I'm still figuring things out about it. I'm just about trying to figure out the OBS so I can start doing some cool things with it. Mainly what I'm trying to figure out is if I can do it for next week, is I would need to figure out how to do my wheel. I got to figure out how to do the screen sharing thing properly. So, and how to engage my OBS there so we can do that. So, let me see here. I talked a little about persistence and consistency, but just to clarify that a little bit, YouTube really likes that, and the community really likes that. You're going to pop up on people's feeds more. You're going to keep people engaged more if you're consistently, week after week, putting up content. If people know that you are going to be releasing a video every Sunday, every week, then a lot of people will come to rely on that, and will definitely be like, okay, Eric's releasing a video this week, and I know to watch it. So, yeah, that's the other thing you can do, Geeky, is you don't have to stress. You can just be like, record something of interest comes along. Don't have to set a schedule. But it's a matter of how hardcore you want to be about this. It's like if you're really hardcore and really trying to grow your channel, I think you do need to get a schedule, and you do need to be like, plan some of these things out, because planning and clarity is key when you really are trying to figure out how to get the channel to grow. Is you got to start, learning all those analytics, and you got to start learning all those little key factors that you add in, that every one of them will eventually add up to a video that's going to take off. And taking off doesn't have to be 1,000,000 views. It can be your video, especially at this level, taking off for 500 views or 1,000 views, So it doesn't have to be monstrous number of views, but if you're just getting like that kind of a video to take off at this level, that's great. I know like some people that I'm astounded at. I look at their channels, I'm like going, you've got less subscribers than me, and your videos are averaging 300 to 500 views. I'm like, how do you do that? And part of it, when I look at their channels, is like going, oh, you're clarified on your niche, and you're releasing the videos about the same stuff every time. And so YouTube loves that. So just saying. And they're very specific about what they're talking about. So yeah. Anyways, but getting back to persistence and consistency. Yes. Um, the more you are just consistently loading videos and the more you're there on YouTube, the more you're seen as a presence, the more you're going to get picked up by people, and the more people are going to engage with you and stay engaged with you, which is obviously important as well. So you got to keep that consistency, and you just got to keep doing it, and eventually things will get picked up. And that's something like I've noticed with mine is like, okay, um, yeah, it took I think 6 months before that benefits of sage video got picked up by YouTube. So it's not something that'll happen right away with a lot of these. So it's like I may have be putting out videos right now that like, okay, I got like 100 views, 150 views, maybe 200 views. Then they're not like doing massive, but they're doing okay. But YouTube hasn't picked them up yet, and it may be something that the longer it stays out there, the longer it stays on the ranking system, that eventually YouTube will go like, oh, this one's been ranking, let me pick that up and suggest it to people. So it's like just having more videos out there that are specific to your niche and clarified, the more chance there is of YouTube going, yes, let me show this to people. And then boom, 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 you get more people. Hooray. Um, Let me talk about some advertising things and some mistakes I've made in that area. Because I think that's one thing that can help your channel grow real easy is if you want to invest in your channel and put a few bucks towards advertising, that is definitely going to help you grow, bar none. And I've been investigating how to do that correctly now because I've done it incorrectly a couple times now. And what I mean by that is, for one, I tried Tube Karma, and I didn't actually pay for it, but I did their 3-day what's it called? The 3-day trial run. Yes, the trial run. I did that, and I noticed that they pretty much were just getting me a bunch of bots. At first, it seemed like, oh, they're getting me lots of engagement, and then I looked at my analytics, and it's like, no, basically all that's happening is they're ruining my watch time, and they're not commenting. They are liking it, and they're subscribing. But it's not enough. Google's going to get mad if they're like, oh, they're liking and subscribing, but they're not real people if they're not commenting on your videos and they're not staying watching the videos. And it's obvious that they're bots if you've got 500 people saying they're watching it, and your watch time is now like at 30 seconds to a minute for it, unless it's a 30-second video. But for my longer videos, yeah, all of a sudden watching my watch time going like horrible because they were just bringing me these bots. And I found the exact same thing no matter who I went to on Fiverr. I tried a couple different sources on Fiverr just to try and be like, okay, let me see if I can draw some organic, real advertising, because advertising has been one that I've always been like, oh, how do I advertise? I don't get it. I don't understand it. And so I tried doing some other things where like, here, advertise for me and advertise this video specifically. But every time I've done it through Fiverr or through this other one, Tube Karma, I've found that they've just brought me bots and no real engagement. So as far as I understand it right now, unless you are hiring an advertising firm, the best way to do it is through the Google ads that YouTube uses to advertise on actually on YouTube or on Google as well. So stick with doing that if you want to advertise, as far as I'm concerned, unless you actually find somebody who is an honest marketing person who can advertise it for you and actually does know how to either just do that for you. Basically, most of the time, that's what's a marketing person's going to do anyways, is go, okay, you don't have to learn it. I'm going to advertise on Google and YouTube Google ads for you. So, so yeah, that's just my experience with those. It hasn't worked very well, but I am looking at trying to advertise a few of my videos organically by using Google ads and see if it works. Other services like TubeBuddy and vidIQ, I found helpful, and for the longest time I've been with the pro version of TubeBuddy, and I've learned a lot from it, I think. But I find a lot of their services superfluous and are not necessary, and so they say, "Oh, well, pay for the bigger package." And I'm like, I already feel like I've got a bunch of stuff that I have no need for at this level as far as the analytics are concerned. It's like, yes, there's lots of things you can figure out about those analytics that can help you jump up there. But, I'm not a mathematician or a statistician to figure out those real hardcore details. And I'm happy that I've learned as much as I have. So it's like, unless you want to spend hours on hours, over wasting your time, I think, trying to figure out how to all the different little things on TubeBuddy or vidIQ work, then it's kind of unnecessary. Um, I have been contemplating trying vidIQ Pro recently because I kind of like their sidebar system. I think it works well too if you've tried the free one or not. If you haven't, I think it's worth trying. I think both of them on the free versions are worth trying, or if you can get a trial to try the simple pro version on both of them, I think it's good too. Just so that's my opinion on those. I think they're both good. I think they're both worth trying. Um, and then goals and expectations. I think it's very important. Geeky was just talking about that it's like you don't have to stress. If you just want to upload when you feel like you have stuff to talk about, that's perfectly okay. It's a matter of what your goals are. For me, my goal right now is that I want to get this monetized as fast as I can and grow it as far as that's concerned as fast as I can, because I really want this to be an alternate stream, especially with the things that are going on in the world right now. I'm still really not able to work much at all. We're starting to get some stuff coming back, and I'm starting to be able to see auditions coming in for my regular acting life. But really, I still can't do too much yet. So I've been really working to okay, let's focus in on this. Let's really be clear about it, and get those watch hours up. And it's been working, but you still have to be realistic on how fast it's going to happen, because if you're live streaming every day, yeah, maybe you can hit 4,000 watch hours in a month, or maybe if you get some videos that really take off, you can hit 4,000 watch hours in a month. But realistically, 4,000 watch hours for a small channel of 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers was what you can really expect for a year. Right now, I'm averaging enough hours per month that I could probably get it done in maybe 8-9 months, which is part of the reason I've also been trying to clarify it and actually starting to do the live streams more, because it has helped increase my watch time a lot more. I still have realistic goals that it's like right now I only have about 2,100 watch hours out of the 4,000 you need to get monetized. And I'm like, okay, what I really need to do is just keep doing the live streams, because they bring in lots of watch hours, and keep just really quality on the videos I am putting out otherwise as much as possible. And then being like, okay, it may still take 6 to 9 months for me to get those other 2,000 watch hours, and that's perfectly fine. And just of being realistic about that. Hey, if something takes off and it happens faster, fantastic. I'm happy. That's going to be amazing. But otherwise, just be like, okay, you got to be realistic as to being like, oh, how can I get monetized? So, yeah, it's just one of those things that not Peter McKinnon is obviously one of the milestones of people to talk about, because he's like, oh, grew up to 1 million subscribers in 1 year. Yeah, well, he was already a professional photographer and videographer already, man. Okay, that guy was already a freaking epic pro, and knew his quality already. So the second he already started the channel, even if you put out maybe a couple of rough videos, he already had stuff that was oodles above everybody else's quality. So his quality was already tremendous. Okay, and the clarity of what he's talking about is in a very specific niche as well, that he is talking photography and videography in a very specific area, and he knows how to do it better than most people. So that automatically put him in the upper echelon already. So those are the reasons he took off into the stratosphere, And Liz says he also sent 2-minute tips video to everyone, and they picked it up in their content. Yeah, because he was a pro and he could do that. Okay, so it's like, yes, if you have a specific niche and you are a pro at it already, you can take off really fast. Okay, I have a very specific niche, but it's not one that the masses are like, oh, I want to learn about herbs. Everybody wants to learn about video. Everybody wants to learn about photography, in some way or another. For the most part, there are millions of people who want to learn about that. There's not millions of people who want to learn about the history of herbs. And that's something I'm like, okay, I am focusing on a very specific niche. But if my channel, jumps up to 100 or 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be like, that's amazing, because I am covering a very specific niche, and 100,000 subscribers for me really is going to be like a million. Because unless I am talking a wider topic like, PewDiePie, who is, one of the biggest, gamer ones out there, who is talking a very popular topic and is at the upper stream of that, it's about who you are. And like it says, yeah, be okay with who you are and the content you want to make. And that's what I'm talking about right now, is that it's like, I know my content is very niche specific, and and for my channel, big success is I'm getting 1,000, 10,000 views or 10,000 subscribers, because me, like I said, me getting that you times that by 10 or times that by 100, because when you're in a specific niche, that is the same amount as getting a million subscribers. It really is. If I had 100,000 subscribers in my niche, that's like having a million subscribers in a bigger niche. Okay. So that's, like Peter McKinnon, a million is no big deal as compared to, because his niche is huge. He's in a huge niche. Okay. Yeah, exactly. And Liz is backing me up here in the comments if you haven't checked those out yet. So, so yeah, I mean, we still got 6 people going on here. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys have stuck with me through this whole thing here. I've just been rambling on and on about all the things I've learned. And this is this. I knew some things coming in myself as well. I mean, I am an actor, so I had that already working for me. I've already done some editing before in the past, so I had that working for me. And even with those tools, I've only grown so fast. And like I said, part of the big reason of that is I'm in a very specific niche, which is part of the reason that I've been really looking lately at trying to advertise to some other areas to try and grow the channel, because you can only grow so fast by connecting one-to-one with people, which is why sub-to-sub is a horrible way to go about it if you're trying to grow. Hi, Husky and Wolf Dog! Woohoo! Those guys are awesome. But that's only going to happen so fast because, for one, the more time you're spending connecting one-to-one with people, the less time you have that you actually are working on your channel with editing it and making really good content. And I've spent weeks where I've been, connecting with people, like good people. They're not talking about the sub-to-sub stuff here, Liz, or, if you're thinking that. I'm talking about connecting with good people like you, with spending time watching your videos and, actually watching people that I want to watch. But the more time you spend on that, the less time you're spending on your own. So as much as I want to take and spend tons of time watching all of your channels, you can't do it. You really can't if you're trying to grow your channel. It's like, if you're just happy with where you're at, slowly moving up the chain, then cool, that's fine, man. Just slowly move up the chain. It's all possible. But the connecting with those real people, you just have to learn how to balance that out. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll just go, and I did this recently with my Goat Shed Life, is I just put one of her playlists on and said, hey, I'm running your playlist, and just put the playlist down in the background and just let it play to get them some watch hours, So it's like, sometimes I'll just do that to say, hey, I'm supporting your channel. I can't sit here and watch all, 10 minutes of your video, or I'll watch them a little faster sometimes. And it'd be like, okay, let me pick out the most important things and comment on it still. So every time I watch a video, I comment on it and I like it, bar none. If you see my comment, it's because I have actually watched their video and I've actually liked their video. Sometimes what I'll do also, though, is like, I'll watch the beginning of the video and skip through a couple of points and pick out some key things and comment on it, and then go back to the video again and just let it play and not watch it, but let it play so you get the watch hours. But it's at the end of the day, I'm still supporting you. I'm still doing my best to get you guys as much watch time as possible as well. But you only have so many hours in the day, man. So you have to go, okay, and be democratic about it and go, okay, I'm going to put these 5 guys in the background and just let their videos play so they get their watch time, and make a quick comment on it and then go. Because you only have so many hours in a day, and there's only so much you can do as far as that's concerned. So I've been doing a lot more of that lately, and a lot more being like, okay, let me just run stuff in the background for people and do a quick comment for them, but otherwise let me move on and start working on my own content and getting that out. Because you will start feeling overloaded, you will start getting backlogged, and you will start being like, oh, what's the point, I can never catch up. And that's been the biggest thing I've been dealing with this last month, is like I talked about earlier, I'm editing a video, finishing it on Saturday night or Sunday morning and releasing it Sunday afternoon. That's no way to do it week by week, Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A quick gardening tip says, you can do exactly what I'm doing. Like if as long as you like the video and you leave a comment, and then you just leave it playing, they'll get the watch time, and that's what matters, and they'll get the engagement, which is what matters as well. So like all those things, matter. So Geeky Garden says, let's let laptop play all on my favorite channels frequently. Simply not enough time to watch everything. Exactly. Yeah, man. So you guys get it. It's it's still supporting your favorite channels. It's still supporting the people who support you, but you have to do it in a way that you can afford to do, given the amount of time you have to do for everything else. And that's the thing that's the most funny about right now, is I have more time than ever right now to get videos done, and I'm still been struggling to get them done on time, because I've been putting so much more into my videos lately. If you look at my videos, that's something they talk about all the time as well, is your videos are going to start off lousier and you're going to get better just by experience of doing it. Even me, who had experience coming in, I've gotten better at my editing. I've gotten better at my content quality just because I've been doing it for a long time now. And if you look at my history of basil video compared to the history of dandelions, which I just finished, the history of basil I still think holds up. I mean, these were the very first video I did and released was the history of basil. And my basil series was the first videos I did on my channel. But if you look at them, I think they still hold up. But if you look at them also, you'll see that there's certain things about them that the quality is better now compared to what I did then. Okay? So that is something. But quality. You gotta have the quality. Nice to see Weird Heather Gardens. How you doing? Nice to welcome to the house. Welcome to the chat. Woo! We're all here having fun, enjoying ourselves. It's a talking party. Who could ask for more? Everybody's loving Danny Elfman when he's on the floor. Yeah, that's my take on the Danny Elfman song "Dead Man's Party." Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I've been striving to do, especially lately. And then during this break, is I've been putting all my time into the YouTube channel, and I say that pretty much literally, that I've been taking hours every single day going, if it's not editing a video, if it's not shooting a video, it's writing a script for a video, it's researching a video, it's watching other people's channels. I put hours every single day. I've been doing that ever since March when this thing started. So and definitely it's helped my channel, definitely it's helped grow my channel, and definitely it's helped my quality get better. But it's also put me in this spot right now where I'm like, I'm not catching up. I've been putting in all these hours and I'm still have no backlog, where the video I'm just finishing today is going to get released on Sunday. So I'm working really hard right now to create some topics that I'm like, okay, let me create a couple that I can do shorter videos that I can go boom, boom, edit, get them put up. And then, all right, I have a few in the backlog that I can go, okay, I can breathe if I need to. I'm, yeah, exactly. You're watching other channels does help you get different ideas and different, for your channel, and that you can create your own versions and stuff. What watching other channels does for me as much as anything is just gives me cool ideas on different jokes to use. That's what it uses the most for me. I like watching other channels and it gives me, cool things. I like going, oh, I love that trick they did. I'm going to use that trick. Um, so like, if you see the jump edits that you like doing, or if you see the way graphics pop up on somebody's stream, that's a great way to reason to watch videos, is to learn from them and to be like, oh, I like those tricks, I'm going to use those tricks. And I do the same thing. So yeah, it does definitely help. um Anything I missed on my list? We talked quality, we talked consistency, we talked equipment earlier. Got to have good equipment. That's the reason you can see me today, is I adjusted things around and I actually brought my lighting in. So, see the lighting? Yeah, you can actually see me better today. On one of my early live streams, if you look at it, you can barely see me because the backlight here, look at this thing. It's white right now. That's because we have a white building across the street and it reflects light like nobody's business into our room. I even closed the curtains today, and in the room, it looks pretty dark. But on the screen, that sucker's white. It's white. So yes, you have to put yourself in a good position. I like seeing plenty of videos out there, even from channels that are like 5,000, 10,000 subscribers, 50,000 subscribers, that have this horrible backlight and you can barely see their face. And it's like, what are you doing? Get some good lighting, people. Yeah, very important that people can see you. And especially with me, I got deep set eyes. So if I don't have them well lit, they will get dark in a hurry and you won't be able to see me very well. Yeah. Mm. Weird Heather says gardening forums on internet gives you ideas on what people are trying to find out. So yeah, if you want to be able to explore topics that are relevant right now, you can easily just look at what people are searching, and or you can go to specific areas like gardening forums or different places like that to get some new topics. I haven't been too focused on that, but I have been starting to look at that a little bit more and be like, okay, what are the herb things that people are talking about right now that I can be like, let me put a video out about that since that's my niche, and see if we can get it picked up. So yeah, there's definitely one thing you can do is look at the specifics of things people are currently talking about right now. A lot of newbie gardeners out there. Yeah, there's tons of people have been searching like how to start a garden and different things like that right now. And again, the more you can do a specific topic, the more important that is, because just talking about in general how to start a garden, they're probably going to go to one of the 500 or a million garden channels to find that, rather than you, if you're just talking in general about how to start a garden. If you want to talk specifically of like going, I started a garden 6 months ago, here's the things I've found that worked and didn't work, that might get a lot more views because it's a very specific thing. Yes, I did what you're trying to do right now, here's what happened. That's probably going to be a lot more engaging to them. Or if it's something like, I tried to start an onion garden, here's what did with the onions, and specifically, or talk anything along those lines about a specific plant that you tried to do. In specifics is very important because it's much easier to be picking up if it's a specific topic that people are searching. Like for my channel, it's like different things, like if there's a current thing in out there that people have been bigger on lately, like the dandelion coffee one I put out there, because that's been growing a lot lately and people have been a lot more into that lately. And I said, let me give that a shot and see if I can get that one to take off. But also with that, I noticed that the tags on that one have been a lot harder to rank, because dandelion coffee in and of itself is a broad topic right now. I have to talk specifically on the tags about what does dandelion coffee taste like specifically, or how do you brew it specifically in the tags, because just saying dandelion coffee is now too broad of a tag. It's like saying mint in one of my tags. I can't tag any of my videos just saying mint or just herbs, because it'll never get ranked. It'll never get ranked because it's way too broad of a topic. Yeah. And Liz agrees, dandelion coffee is trending. So who knows, maybe my dandelion coffee will get picked up and they'll get lots of views. So yeah, I have been doing some of that, and I have. That's why lavender is my next one on the list as well, is because it is a very popular plant and herb, and lavender oil is really big, right? Of course, right now, along with peppermint oil. So, and even though I did the all the benefits of peppermint, I may very well go turn right around and go back eventually and do a specific video on, what are the benefits of peppermint oil specifically, because that's a much more specific topic, or how to use peppermint oil, which is one of the ones I'm planning on doing for the lavender series. As I'm going to do one on how to use lavender oil. So it's very specific. It's not just, oh, what are its benefits? This is like, no, how do I use it when I'm trying to use it? So definitely is I think a big more helpful one. So what weird herbs might be good too. Yeah. hmm Yeah, I mean that's definitely something I look at as well. I've looked at as well as possibly doing some weird ones, um, and I know that'll help. I might try and do that like next after I do the lavender. I'm first off trying to do some bigger ones. I did the dandelion one because I thought it'd be a more interesting one because it's a bit more controversial, and so that's also a good thing to tackle as a controversial subject. So I figured, hey, that might draw a lot of people because a lot of people know about dandelions and have different opinions about dandelions. And so I was like, going, okay, let me come from the tack of dandelions are awesomes, and here's why, and attack that tack compared to being like, oh, weed dandelions, they must all die. Yeah, that's like is also very important. Is they say that because the YouTube will actually scan through your video, and that's how they like get your subtitles, your captions. They'll actually roughly scan what you're saying in it, so they know what you're saying in it, and that counts too towards your topic. So, which is why you'll see a lot of the people with YouTube tips that they repeat themselves over and over again in the video because of the fact that YouTube goes, oh, they just said, here's how you get subscribers. Here's how you get subscribers. Here's how you get subscribers. And then their video gets picked up because they said, here's how you get subscribers 10 times in their video. And that's what it says on their tags as well. Whereas with, my videos, if I say, here's the historical facts of sage, and the more I say sage in the video, sage, 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 the more people are going to go, oh, yes, you're talking about sage. So you have to keep mentioning the word in there. And when I write my scripts, I try and do that as much as possible. I'll try and say, dandelion oil is good for this. And then dandelion's good for that. Dandelion's good for this. And then also like, it's also good for this. It's also good for that. Dandelion's good for this. And I'll keep saying it as much as I can because, yeah, it does make a difference. Used to make a penny for 10 complete plants delivered to my mother. Oh, that's cool. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, on the dandelion one, I appreciate it. I'd be scared getting bored with repetition. Well, I mean, it really depends on what it is. I think if you're, you can, I think, easily get bored with being repetitive. But that's another thing that YouTube loves, and Liz can back me up on this since she knows all about this stuff. Is that I've noticed as well that I've gotten a lot more views on my history of sage in particular, because a lot of people have watched the benefits of sage. They've gone on to watch the history of sage afterwards. So if you have multiple videos on a particular topic, you are going to get possibly more than one view on your channel and possibly lots more watch time because you're covering multiple things about a specific topic. So that is why I try and put out, 3, 4, 5 videos on a specific herb every time. So like with lavender right now, I'm trying to put out, I've got the history planned, I got the mythology planned, and then I've got the benefits of oil, and I got the benefits of tea, and then I've got the how to use lavender oil. So 5 videos planned already on lavender. And I'm trying to do that with every video, try and get at least 3 to 5 videos out of each one. Like some of them don't have as much good information. So like on sage, I think was one of them. I would probably have a lot of videos on the mythology of sage, but I didn't find that much information on the mythology of sage, but I researched it back then. I probably could go back now and find a lot more, but at the time I didn't find enough, so I just kind of skipped it. But yeah, nowadays I try and do as many as I can. Oh, hey, thanks for stopping by, Husky and Wolf Dog. Have a good dinner. Woohoo! Mm. And yeah, telling the algorithm that you're building a base on that topic, and it also shows that you're an expert in a certain area. Essentially, it says that I know a lot about this topic, and I can talk a lot about this topic, and it also helps their algorithm that it's like, oh, sage this, sage this, sage this, sage that. Then they're gonna go, oh, obviously this guy knows a lot about sage. I should not only send him to this one sage video, I should send him to all the sage videos because this guy obviously knows tons about it or does a lot of really good videos about it. So, mm-hmm. Yeah, and gardening quick tips says, yeah, did one on petunias and various things about the petunias. And yeah, as much as you can do that, it really does help grow the channel if you can do multiple videos on a particular one. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jeannie. Yeah, I'm and that's the thing too. You have to be happy with what you're doing. So like that's part of the reason I don't do my own face on them is I love my thumbnails and I'm perfectly happy having those graphics on there and not my face. A lot of people think, oh, if you have a real interesting person with a really cool face, and I'm sure I could do some really cool expressions that draw people in, be like, but but I love my graphics, and I think it's a calling card of my channel. That if you and it also makes it look very sleek when you come to my channel and you see lots of fun colors, but you also see very much boom, lots of fun the graphics all the time that are very much all unified. So it's pretty easy to find everything. Um, so then I think that's very important too. But if you are going to use photos, you got to make them look good. Again, it's quality, not quantity. You can't have something on there that's blurry. Okay, you got to have a really good high definition photo that when it gets shrunk down, it still looks good. Because and that's part of the reason I've been trying to play with the sizes. Is my text is so big that I think I can actually shrink the text down. Because a lot of the big YouTubers, I notice I use like this much space for the text, and they'll use like this much space, but you can still see it really well. And so I've been trying to shrink down a little bit more, and then let my graphic be a little bit more a little bit more grabbing. You know, what's the word for that? Yeah, a little bit more eye catching. Ah. And yes, brainstorm makers, that is very true. Yes, my thumbnails are very distinctive, and that's why I use them. Is because my wife, my amazing wife, is the one who draws all those, and she has a very distinctive style, and we've created a very through line with them all, and that you look at one and then you look at a different one and you can see that they're all part of the same channel and they're all part of the same artwork, and so it doesn't look different, and I think that helps too. Can get very confusing for people, I think, when they look at a channel and go, what do I look at? There's all these different things. So the more you can make each thumbnail very clear and very much on topic, the better. So, and I noticed that a lot too, that, if your video is if you are using your face, it's very important that it matches what you're talking about. So you're talking about like, we did something, we don't know if it's right. You'll have a look like, or if you're like, yay, something wonderful happened to us, find out what it is. That it's very important that you had those thumbnails match what you're talking about. And so it's like they're like, oh, he's smiling. Why is he smiling? And then they read the little text that says, 5 wonderful things that happened to us this week, Yeah, so it's very much along those lines. And I see people do that all the same with clickbait the other way too, where they're like, and it's like, oh no, what went wrong? is the drag, yeah. In the graphic design, yeah, she's an artist along with a singer and she does so many amazing things. So she's got like 20 amazing talents. So she's fantastic. So oh, but it's one other quick thing I can talk about too. I've seen lots of different tip videos that say, oh, try and do lots of cross advertising. Well, I think that only works if you have, for one, have the time to have built a separate channel. If you already have a following on a different channel and then you start YouTube, then great. Cross advertising is going to be a lot easier. But if you're trying to build this and Instagram or and Twitter or different or and other things along those lines, that's hard, man. Building YouTube's hard enough, let alone trying to build Instagram at the same time. I find myself still doing Instagram videos, and I like do them much less frequently because I'm like, time for that and time for this. Oh my god. Yeah, so it gets very difficult in that sense. So um yeah, but if you already are a natural people person and a natural person who has lots of people follow them already, then yeah, I think cross advertising is real easy to a lot easier to do. For me it's a lot harder. People like me, but I'm not a natural people person that people are like, oh, I always want to be talking to them and see what they're up to. So like I have tons of people that are connected to me on Facebook, but do they watch my YouTube channel? No, barely any of them. I think out of my friends that I have on Facebook, I've like advertised it every week for my primary videos on Facebook, and I they never comment, they never say anything on Facebook about it, and I think I've got like 1 to 5 people, out of the 1,000 or whatever friends I have on Facebook that are actually people that I know and that I can talk to, that actually will engage with my YouTube videos. So cross advertising, yeah, you can do it if you have people that are willing to engage, but it's not easy to do. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it can be very tough. So, hey Dan, good to see you. Dan, permaculture food forest. Woohoo! It's hard to say. Dan, permaculture food forest. Um, brainstorm acres. What are you saying? The common recommendation is to use internal links, cards, but when successful, it actually works against channel recommendations. Oh, okay. Um, yeah, I mean, I do use cards on my videos, but I find those clicked on very infrequently. I do know that the end cards on videos works, but it's not like a huge percentage. So I have been trying to get people to watch the end videos also to engage with the end cards. But I do notice that, yeah, when you mention cards, unless it's something very specific, like oh, I'm doing this video, but you really should have watched part one, which is right here. So go watch part one first. Then that might be something that okay, they're going to click on the card for. But I find I'll put them in there because they say that it's good to have them in there. But I look at my analytics, I'm like, has anyone looked at a card this week? I don't think so. Yeah, just yeah. So that's another honest appraisal. I don't think cards do much of anything at all. Um, that's my point of view. I don't know if you guys have had more success with it than I have, but I could yeah, I haven't had any success with that. Nope, not me. Um, end cards are great because it encourages watching to the end of the video. Yeah, yeah. But if you can get people to the end of the video, then there is more likely that they're going to click on one of those other ones from there. So end cards is always good to have something at the end of the video for them to go to. If you want to keep them engaged and keep them watching your channel, yeah, you got to have those things on there just in case. You know, just in case, have the cards on there, have the end cards on there, especially because even though it's not a huge percentage, it is a percentage. I do get people watching every week from the end cards. Maybe only 10, but that's another 10 views I got because the end cards are there. So, yeah. Yeah, that's true, Dan. Only 50% are going to be watching, but of those 50%, if you get, 10% or 20% of them, or even 5% of them watching a second video because they stayed to the end, that's a lot more watch time coming to you. Another video getting some more views. Every bit counts. Mm-hmm. Hmm. And so Brainstorm Anchor is saying, when I've been successful with an information card, the analytics look bad. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, I mean, I've heard that they're going to discontinue those anyways. I don't know if they're just going to change the format on how they're doing those, but that is something I've done recently as well, though, for the end cards, is I've started editing my videos in such a way that instead of like, if you like have seen a lot of my videos, I used to go to like an end card screen. Now I've started going like, hey, if you can, if when you're done with this video, please watch this video next or this video next, and it goes straight into the end cards now when I do those points instead of actually just showing graphics, or if I just say, hey, watch these videos next. Rather, I actually have those pop up then, and I time my videos out now to make sure that I have 20 seconds of the end cards being up. So they basically pop up as soon as I point at them. And then from there, they stay on. And I can add a little bit of stuff afterwards. But hopefully, because I've just pointed to them and I'm now doing some other fun things at the very end, that people stay watching, they will go to one of those end cards afterwards from there. Or at least hopefully at least increases the percentage a little bit more. That's the whole reason for it. When do I edit my videos in? Grow with George asks. Adobe Premiere is a good one. I have used that. I am currently using Final Cut Pro X is what I use. So, but I can't. I always fight going into the newer stuff. I still use Adobe Audition for my sound to make it sound better. And when I edit my videos, I record it on a good mic, and then I'll go in and I'll process it and make it sound even better. With that, I still use like Adobe Audition CS5 because I'm still can't bring myself to pay £10 a month or whatever it is to get Adobe Audition on their new scheme that they have. So yeah, it annoys me too much still. I know they've got some things that you can do with Adobe to get all those things, but I do like using Final Cut a little bit more than Adobe Premiere. But now, I mean, if I really wanted to get the new version of the CS that they have, I probably would try Adobe Premiere again to see if they have a lot of the same features as Final Cut Pro does. Just because if I'm paying for Final Cut, paying for Adobe Premiere, I might as well pay for Adobe Audition, which is my preferred sound method anyways. So, just might as well do both. So when I break down, and I probably do, and I do, if I end up doing the pay every month version that they have now for the Adobe suite, which I still hate. I still hate it. Why can't you just pay one fee and have it, and it's yours? I really don't like this, that you have to pay a monthly pay thing. It's like getting a phone that you have nonstop having to pay for the rest of your life. It should be that, okay, it's this much for the first 10 months or first year or two, and then it goes down to a lower amount because all they're doing is little cheeky updates after that you don't need. Yeah. A lot of people are watching some faster playback rates. Yep. If they comment on something at the end, but the total watch time doesn't match. Yeah. And, I'm kind of fine with that because, the watch time isn't as much, but YouTube, I think, still likes it that they see that they're watching to the end of the video. So, yeah, I would like to have the extra watch time, but as long as they're getting to the end of the video and possibly going to a second video, if they're watching it at a faster speed, we all have things we got to do. As long as they're watching the whole thing, that's cool by me, man. Moving to DaVinci Resolve. Ooh, interesting. I haven't tried that one at all yet. So, and that's one thing again that I haven't tried. Is I got Motion for I got the it's kind of like the new After Effects program that they have on Apple. And I haven't really used it. I've tried it for a couple things, but it's very complex, and I feel like I need to go to school just to learn how to work Motion, And so all my graphics I do out of Final Cut. So all the different things I do, I just use different things that Final Cut has available to it. If I wanted to get even splashier with the graphics, I would use Motion. So if you want to do really crazy graphics, Motion would be the way to go. But it's a learning curve unless you actually are an editing master or graphics master. um, Weird Heather Gardens, you can always tell who just comments but doesn't actually watch. There's a distinct lack of specifics. They always say something generic. That's true, but there's are times that I watch someone's video, I'm like, I don't know what to say about this. Let me try and be as specific as I can about something, but I just don't know what to say right now. So it does happen that way too. But yeah, I think you can tell a lot of times when they just say, "Great video, yay!" Geeky Garden says he uses Cinelera for editing. Has a pretty steep learning curve, but only runs on Linux. Ooh. So yeah, you are using the heavy stuff. Okay. Sustainably Yours Homestead. Hello. Says that's interesting. I hadn't thought about changing playback speed affecting view time. And Dan also uses DaVinci Resolve. So I have to check that one out. I haven't tried that one before. I haven't done so already. Like button. Woohoo. Right down there. Click. Happy. And if you're not subscribed, of course, you can do that as well. Or if you don't have my bell on, please do, because it's the easiest way to find the live stream is if you have the bell on. I don't, the live streams are really kooky that way, especially if I, end up having problems and you have to shut the live stream down and start it up again. I've been getting better at it. Didn't have to do it this week. Yes, one full live stream, but I stopped using Mr. Laptop over here because he was having way too many problems. I had to shut him down and then come over and restart the live stream, and it just makes things all crazy. But hey, you'll always know when I'm live if you have the bell button on full. Resolve is free, which is always a nice thing for a lot of people. Yeah, getting a free version of a program definitely helps with a lot of people if you don't want to spend much on such stuff. I do agree with that, especially if you're first starting off. Getting a free editing program, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of times with computers, you can get the old video maker, the iMac movie. Some people still can use that because for basic editing, it does what on the tin. It doesn't do much for graphics and stuff, but if you just need to basically edit a video, iMovie can do the trick. Whatever you need to do. But yeah, if you're going to be growing your channel and you're going to be trying to make it look slicker, getting a proper editing program is going to be something you need to do down the line. It's just, it has to happen because, especially once you start looking for a higher quality video, you start looking for an HD quality video, you have to have a system that can output it at a better rate. We tried doing it on our old laptops when I first started doing my videos, and look at the quality on my first couple of videos compared to what I do now. I was still using, the same phone for most of these videos. I think pretty much all my videos, I've used my Samsung S9 Plus videos. They're all been done off the Samsung. The main difference in the quality is come from the editing program and from the computer source. So getting a better editing program, I was able to output at a better quality. When we try and output them from the laptops, they only output it at a certain height of quality and no more. I couldn't do 1080p on these, and so they only looked so good. And even if I recorded it at a better quality, it would still put them out looking horrible. So and now with the new editing stuff, it can actually help you with a lot of different things. I recorded my video this week with a different program. I talked about this a little bit earlier, but I rehashed it for a different reason, with a new app, because it said my old app was now possibly spying on me, so I should delete it. So I did. But then I looked at it on the small screen and it looked okay. But then I put it up on the big screen in the 1080 and I could see some noise on it. But now I can probably go into my editing program and clean some of that noise up now, because the good editing programs can do those kind of things. So, if you have a problem with the filming or different things like that, it can help clean up some of those errors. If you have an unstable camera, it can help clean up that stability. So that's one of the reasons to have a good editing program, is not just all the fun bells and whistles with putting cool graphics up. It's because it can help you just with video quality. It can help you output at a higher quality. It can help you output videos faster. My new computer, it puts them out eons faster than our laptop did. Oh my gosh, that thing would take an hour to upload a video, and this thing can can output a video in nothing flat. I mean, yeah, it's amazing the speed difference on them. So, a better quality computer and a better quality editing program, boom, yeah, that can save you tons of time in itself, is putting out a good quality video, because then sometimes you'll notice that you'll put out a video and something's wrong on it, and then you have to output it again, and if it takes an hour to output it, that's a lot of time lost, man. That's painful. Oh man. um you guys have any other questions or things you want to talk about? Because I've been going a long time now. I went over time for what I was planning today, because we've just been chatting and talking, and y'all still been here. I still got 10 people on the channel. So I figured, hey, let's just keep chatting. But so if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to skedaddle and let my voice get a break, because, yeah, I'm going to start cracking up here. I'm running out of water. Ah, that was it. That was my last sip. Finished my tea, finished my water. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I covered my full list on the things to talk about. If you want, please go back and watch the rest of the video if you haven't seen the whole thing. Otherwise, please do catch my recent videos that I put out on dandelions. I'm really happy and proud about them. And I got the video coming out this week about Loseley Gardens, lovely little garden area. Weird Heather asks, how's the acting going? It's not. Things have started opening up again. I have started getting some auditions, but I've only done one job since lockdown happened, and that was like a month ago now. So, yeah, it hasn't been happening. Not much happening yet. Glad you're still here. Yes, I'm glad I was here too. Thanks for being here. Always use the best hardware you can get. Yes, Geeky Garden says has 8-core, 32 gigabytes of RAM, renders fast. Yes, having a good processor with lots of RAM definitely helps with that processing speed and the rendering speed. That's another beautiful thing about having a good editing program. Final Cut Pro 10, now that I have that, there's a seamless rendering system on it now, where you don't have to go and render the video. On the old versions, you have to like wait for it to render the video before you can actually watch it smoothly. Now they have a continuous rendering system where you can always watch the video, even though you've edited it or you've done something new to it before. Or with some of these other editing systems, it makes you wait for the rendering. But now with the better editing programs, there's a seamless editing system. You don't have to wait for rendering time, and it's amazing. Oh my gosh, it saves you so much time. So another great reason to have those. Anything else? Anything else before we go? Yes, no, maybe so. Last chance before we get moving on, and I get myself some dinner and relax and go to the bathroom, because I just drank, 32 ounces of water. Nope, nothing else. Well, thank you all so much for being here. If you haven't done so, like the video, go watch another one of my videos. Thanks so much for being here and listening to everything I have to say about what I've learned so far about doing my YouTube channel. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day. Yes, thank you one and all. Great to see you all. And we'll catch you in the next round. Woohoo! All right. Now, if it'll let me end the stream, we'll go forward.